Hey, Mike, what are we working on
Yeah.
today?
Oh, I got a treat for you, don't worry. Yeah, you know what an eMachines is?
Yeah, man, it's been a while since I've seen that.
I don't think they exist anymore. Look at this beautiful computer I just got. You see this one?
Wow, nice.
It's a little worse for wear, but, yeah, let's get started with this repair. Alright, so, as you guys saw by the dramatic entry, we have this computer I got here as part of my refurbishments of 90's technology. Seems that someone tried to peel the side panel off because they forgot to take the screw off in the back here. They obviously voided their warranty, but that's besides the point.
Right.
So looks like they stole some parts, so if you want to come and zoom in here. Right, what am I doing here? Let me just take the side panel off.
Okay.
Let me not do what the last guy did, because we're going to try to attempt to save this computer.
Right.
And the transformation you will see here is shocking. I was trying to say it was shocking. It's also very loud, apparently. So first what we're going to do is we're going to fix this. Professional body man here, yeah. Doing a full car body repair, right?
Very nice.
Alright, fixed.
Okay.
Alright, so, now that that's out of the way, what do we have here? We're going to do a full disassembly and testing of this computer.
Right.
So I guess first we could see does it power on. So, before we do that, we can't test that because... Hey Matt, should something be here?
Yeah, it's definitely missing the CPU, man.
At least they left the cooler, that was nice of them.
Yeah.
Did they break anything? Oh no. They broke the clip.
Oh, man, really?
It's partially there. The clips that hold the... But there's these two side clips here, so I can use a different cooler, luckily.
Right.
But this cooler's good still for parts, so I'm going to safely stow it away.
Okay.
Anyway, so, yeah, so this will not run without a CPU, so if you might, I'm going to scooch by you real quick.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
And as we see here, we have the parts shelf. No,
Cool,
okay.
man. No, that's cool.
Alright, so we have 3D printed, because you guys saw my 3D printer in the first episode. I hoard parts, we know that. So as you see here, I have 3D printed trays that I found online for processors.
Very nice.
Processors are what basically run different programs and do different computer things. So, I don't really know how to simply explain it, so we're just gonna... They do computer things, that's what matters.
Right.
So here's all my vintage processors, check that out.
Wow, pretty cool, man. I'm going to zoom in on that.
Look how fancy they are compared to the modern ones.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So yeah.
Very nice.
We gotta figure out what runs in this computer. Well, I guess nothing at this point, but you get the joke. But so we're gonna look here. This is a PGA 370. So we need to figure out what was in that socket. So I'm gonna grab my phone real quick. Hopefully it was under this computer case. That would stink.
Oh, your phone's right here, man.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And we're gonna check and see which processor that is, because I don't remember every of the millions of sockets for processors. There's too many things to remember. I don't remember all the facts.
Right.
To keep it in plain English.
Right, right.
So we're gonna look at. We're gonna do PGA 370.
Get that eMachine logo on there.
Oh yeah.
Very nice, very classic.
And from there we're gonna see.
Systems. I like that green button.
This is a Intel for Pentium 3 and Celeron processors. Okay, so this is a Pentium I have here. This might work. Let's see. So we got some Pentiums here. This is a Pentium. We could try this one. I got a Pentium here. And if you want to come over and see, I'm gonna be looking for the corner where there's the arrow that tells you how to put this in. So look for a few seconds. There should be an arrow somewhere. It's a little bit dusty, so we just have to. And you know, Matt's asthma is just gonna love this.
Yeah, man, we can't. The camera guy needs to stay away from dust.
So we gotta figure out where the corners lie on this thing. This might not be the right CPU for this. I'm trying to see if it... Oh, no, it's starting to fit. Nope, but you see there's the corner missing, so... Yeah, it's not the right CPU. So I need a Pentium 3. So we're just gonna... And I know, the technician doesn't always have all the answers. Sometimes there's some experimentation. So we're gonna see, does this Pentium work? We might not have a CPU for this. That wouldn't be good now, would it? And as you see, it doesn't fit because it's got an extra leg right there. So yeah, I don't think we actually have a CPU for something this old, but you can keep trying if you're not. These are all AMDs. This is Xeon. Well, we'll get back to you on this.
All right, cool. All right, so we're back here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, like, so our viewers understand, like,
What happened?
Yeah, like, what happened with that CPU?
So I had to do additional research. So it only fits Pentium 3s or Celerons, which are both Intel processors. And I didn't know that I actually had this. That this was Celeron because of how small the writing is, and there's no other indication. And it looks just like these AMD processors, so it slipped my mind. But, however, this one CPU we have will work.
Very cool.
Look at all the gold on there.
Very nice.
It's worth its weight in gold.
Definitely.
Doesn't really have much weight to it, but...
I like that.
So let's double check to make sure this fits.
Very cool.
And you see the little arrows and the little divots correspond with these divots.
Nice.
So you just gotta make sure you put it in right. It's just like modern processors. And then... So unfortunately, whoever had this previously, you can see they've snapped the clips here. You see how there's like a broken piece there?
Yeah.
So you can still use these two and use a different type of cooler. However, we can first see if the other one works. So with anything being there. So they were very rough with how they did. They thought this computer would probably be taken to the trash forever. So we're going to try to mount this cooler here. And yes, I normally do clean them. And this isn't the worst computer I've seen, but we're going to definitely clean this one as well. So we're going to take a look here. And I'm going to try to, if you want to come in here and see. Yeah, you see how this is not clipping?
Yeah.
So we're going to have to order a processor for a processor cooler for this. But for now, we can still test it.
Oh, cool.
Because these don't run as hot as like modern computers, obviously. So
Right.
So we're going to put our CPUs away. And next we need to find memory.
Oh, right.
So, because whoever owned this previously, besides breaking the side panel, stole the memory as well. So we're just going to clean up here. Memory, discard that there, and we have a little bit of memory, just a little bit. More than my hand. And I got big hands.
Very nice.
Alright, so let's take a look here. So we need, my guess, I'm going to say it's before DDR. So, just for reference, DDR is a type of memory, and they're up to 5 now, or 6. So, this is really old, you know?
Right.
Just for reference. Basically, this is really old, and for some reason I have a lot of old crap, so, for lack of a better term. So, let's take a look here. So we got to get rid of all this stuff in my way. Okay, cool. PC 100, that's what I'm thinking it's going to be. So this is like even before DDR. I mean, I'm going to show you these things when they look ancient just looking at them. And I'm pretty sure these are going to be... I mean, look how fat this thing is. But usually you can tell by... Yep, right here. So first off, I'm going to get something in here and clean this dust off so it doesn't go right in the pins. Yeah, we don't want to use that. That's a little sharp, huh?
Right.
Now we're going to use a toothbrush.
Cool.
And maybe some alcohol. I use close as I can get to 100% easily. This is 91%. Just spray it on a toothbrush a little bit. Because alcohol won't really hurt the computer if you just get in there a little bit, you see?
Yeah.
Nice and cleaned up. Get all the dust, because I don't know how long it's been sitting with dust in there for. Just get it nice and cleaned up. And don't do this at home. But if you look right here, I can tell this uses PC 100 memory because of the 2 notches. That's what's unique about these. They have 2 notches.
Oh, right.
So I have this Samsung made in Korea stick. So I'm just going to put it in here. And what you hear, that nice satisfying click. Ready? I feel like I'm on a cooking show. Oh yeah, there it is.
Nice.
And now we have our lovely computer here. But before we go any further, has some weird internet card here, so let's take a look at that real quick. And obviously we're not going to be needing it because I'm not connecting this computer ever to the internet again due to the fact that there's no antivirus support, and if you do connect it to the internet, you can't do anything with it. Except maybe file sharing, but why would you file share to it? But that's besides the point. So we have my drawer of mystery here. And we're going to grab a screwdriver. Sure.
You got a lot of tools in there.
Oh yeah, you always need a lot of tools to fix things. So we're going to unscrew this. And we're going to see what this is. So this is I'm assuming it's a network card because you have Ethernet, obviously, for wired internet. And then you have, it looks like a BNC connector, right? Kind of like coaxial.
Yeah.
Like for security cameras. So that's kind of weird.
Oh, interesting.
It's a Realtek card, though. But yeah, we don't really need it anymore, so.
Alright.
So that's out of our way. Otherwise, this computer is actually pretty clean. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to power it on and see what happens. Ooh, I got a friend in here. You want to show them? Is that a roach?
Ooh, really?
Ooh, yeah, it's a roach shell. But I haven't seen anything crawling around here yet.
Alright, I'll admit it, you got me on that.
Alright, let's see if this thing powers on, well, shall we?
Yeah.
And what's it do? I've never turned this thing on, so we're going to see the first time. Shoot. We're going to see the first time, does it turn on? So I'm going to sit down so I'm out of your way here a little bit. This will go in the recycling bin. We recycle all our parts responsibly here, by the way.
Cool.
So I'm going to plug in our video. And I'm going to plug in our mouse and keyboard. And I have a wireless mouse and keyboard. I know, very fancy for the time period that this computer comes from. And we're going to see if this thing's going to blow up or not. But don't worry, we have our lovely brand new fire extinguisher here. We take safety very seriously here at ImmortaTech Solutions.
Very nice.
And of course, we're going to put it right down here where it's going to be very hard to reach. No, I'm kidding.
Gotta be safe.
Alright. Is that dust getting to you yet? Alright. Oh.
It's alive.
It's alive. Oh, it turned off. So we gotta see if there's anything gonna come out on the screen here. You got a good view of the screen? I'll put the camera right here.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Alright, see what this does. Get the nice view of the eMachines logo here with the light. There we go. Does that look good? You guys zoom on this?
Alright, we got the logo to the left and we got the screen to the right.
Ready? Ready at the moment everybody's waiting for. I think it's gonna turn on.
Give it a shot.
Oh, we're also missing the faceplate for this. This drive here. Oh. It's not staying on. Huh. Ooh. It doesn't want to stay on. So we have ourselves a little bit of diagnosis work to do here. I mean, you turn it on. It tries to turn on. You hear it?
Yeah, it sounds like it's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I think we have a defective power supply, which I've actually noticed a lot on these eMachines.
Right.
If I listen very carefully, it sounds like a high-pitched noise. That power supply is definitely failing. So I'm going to unplug that before it causes any damage. And normally with these old computers, I'll always, of course, check the power supply before turning it onto the board.
Right.
But in this case, just for demonstration, it doesn't really matter. Especially with a computer that's so damaged, unfortunately.
Right.
Alright, so we're going to take our test power supply here. I just have a standard computer power supply here. A lot of these older computers, luckily, are still new enough that they use normal stuff. Butterfingers. Alright, so that woke you up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're just going to disconnect this from the board. So that's our one connector. Actually, you know what? Let's bring this over to... No, actually, because we need it here because of the electricity. So, let's see. So we're going to lay this flat here. Is that easier for you to see with the light now?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to give everything power. So we're going to disconnect our Molex here. We're going to disconnect this and this. Alright, we're just going to put this out of the way here. Alright, just so it's out of our way, because I'm pretty sure that thing's dead, but we're going to test it anyway. So, as you see here, it has detachable pins on purpose to work with older computers like this. So whoever designed this was thinking with their heads when it came to making this. So we're going to, and I noticed, these weren't plugged in, were they?
I don't think so.
So, someone's been in here messing around before. They've been trying to troubleshoot, and then when it failed, they just said, well, I'm going to take some parts out of it, and that's it. But sometimes it's as simple as just a power supply. Well, I make it look simple, but you get the idea. To me, it's simple.
Right.
When you work on enough things, you'll... Practice is what is the best practice for it.
Right. Repetition, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how many years have you been doing this, you know?
Oh, at least 5.
There you go.
So it's getting a little warm, but it's not getting hot yet. So we're going to give it a known good power supply. And we're going to plug it in. And we can see this fin spin up here. This fan spin up. Oh. So it wants to. So let's give it some video and let's see what happens here. Ready? That might have just been a self-power test. I'm not sure if it's actually trying to turn on.
Right.
It's not happy. Might be looking at motherboard failure then.
Yeah, that's always a possibility with these older machines, right?
Especially when it's been sitting open with the CPU socket exposed all the time. So we're going to test our power supply to rule that out next. So
oh, interesting.
The original power supply here, we're going to test. So we're going to put this here, and we're going to plug into it directly. And we're going to read the voltages using our power supply tester.
Very cool.
Patented technology. Is it? I don't know. So we're going to plug in right here. And this basically tests the voltages coming out of this to make sure it's normal. So let's see. Beeping usually means it's low voltage, but it needs to detect. So yeah, that's a little bit low, but this one's low because it doesn't exist with this power supply. It would be one of these on this, but that doesn't exist. As you see, we only have like 3 wires here.
Right.
So yeah, the power supply hasn't shut off yet, so we'll just leave it.
Okay.
And you can see the fan is kicking on. It's running. So yeah, I mean, it's fine. So most likely we have a dead motherboard here, or a bad CPU, but I'm thinking more likely the motherboard, because why would they take everything else out of it?
Right.
So, we can't save them all, but unfortunately, but we can try a few more things, just to be sure. So we're going to unplug the hard drive. How about we unplug everything and see what happens? So I'm going to unplug everything here. Anything that we don't need. And I'm going to say, let's try it again. So, now that all this stuff's out of our way, all these cables. Just get everything out of our way here so you guys can see better as well. How nicely they wrapped them. I like the ribbon cables. That's what those are called if you guys are curious. So we get all those out of our way. I know, I make it look easy, right? So we're going to plug this in. I want to see what it does now. I don't think I was plugged in. So it still turns off. Okay. So next what we're going to do is I don't like the noises this thing makes. It's kind of, or it might be the board too, I'm not sure. But we're going to, oh, the RAM became unseated. Yep. So now we're going to reseat it in the other slot and see if that helps. If not, we'll maybe try another RAM stick, try slotting in the CPU again, just troubleshooting now. If that doesn't work, then this computer is basically dead. Because we're able to tell for sure.
Right.
I don't think having the cooler on it would actually make a difference because this thing's not getting hot enough to make a difference. It's not even barely even turning on.
Right.
I'm talking about the processor that we put into this.
CPU, so, right?
Yep, the CPU, or people know it as the CPU. They call this whole thing the CPU. In reality, that's the CPU.
Yeah, yeah, right. Technical terms being thrown around.
Yep. Technical jargon for days. Everybody loves technical jargon, said no one ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't want to stay on. So next what we're going to do is we're going to unplug it. And we're going to reseat this CPU one more time. I doubt it's the CPU though, because I don't think I would have taken it out of the computer unless it was working, you know?
Yeah.
Unless I just liked it, I don't know. So we're just going to see now. Now it's getting stuck in there, so I use my fingernails to get it out. Now we're going to reseat it again. And now we're going to really lock it down. There we go. And just for the hell of it, we're also going to try another stick of memory. So this one can go back into the bin. And we're going to take this Cento Electronics. Whatever you heard of them. We'll stick it back in the original slot. And you say, Michael, what about the alcohol you put on the board earlier? That's already been evaporated for 10 minutes. That would definitely not cause... I mean, that's what people use all the time to clean electronics, so...
Right.
That's your best friend when it comes to cleaning electronics. So you heard those nice clicks of the memory?
Yeah.
So you made sure that's all set up. Let's try this again. But I honestly think it won't make a difference. I've seen a lot of motherboard failures, and that's definitely common.
Right.
Especially when you see how dusty this thing is. I doubt they cleaned it, so... You probably used it until it stopped working. I mean, you can see the DVD drive faceplate's missing, and... Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of ImmortaTech Solutions. We found that this eMachines was beyond repair, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.
And we're saying like it's a motherboard failure?
Yes, that's what I believe.
Okay, great. Thanks for telling us that, because there were so many things running through my head, and like, it's got to be that.
Yeah, but would you guys like to see if the hard drive's still good from the 90s?
Sure, why not?
So we got a few extra minutes here. So this is the test bench I have here. And this can test old hard drives. As you see, it has new cables and old cables. So I can test all different types of drives with this. So as you see here, I'm going to unscrew this. What's great about these cases is they're usually like 1 or 2 screws holding a lot of things together. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Ready to go.
Cool.
So I'm gonna unscrew it just so that we can get the cables close enough to it to run it. So I'm just gonna put the. I'll save the screws because they're still good, and we'll keep the case, you know, because this is a common machine. It's actually very popular.
Right.
I have one customer on eBay, for example, who loves to buy eMachines parts exclusively. Long-time customer of the channel. So.
Cool.
And by the way, check out our eBay store. A lot of computers like this will be coming on there in the near future. As you see that big pile over there, and all the shelves behind me, we got plenty of inventory of 90's nostalgia ready to go.
Check this out. Wow. How many computers do you say you have down here?
100, 150, if I had to guess.
Wow.
I think I was buying like 25 to 50 at a time.
Very nice.
And then the guy saved a lot for me. And then I was like, oh, I'm not ready for them yet. And he's like, you told me to save them. And I'm like, okay, fine. I drive back out there and pick up the rest of them.
Right.
All right, so we have our hard drive here, if you want to come back to me, Matt. 6.4 gigabytes.
Okay.
Most flash drives are bigger than this. Hell, do I have a flash drive around here? This right here is 64 gigabytes. Move the decimal place one. Look at the size difference. This little Micro Center flash drive.
Wow.
So let's try this out. We did hear it turn on, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily healthy. So we're going to determine that right now. So we're going to plug it in to my little test bench here. And these are very special cases. They're ImmortaTech cases. Got them on eBay. They're very, I think it's an Italian company. And they make these very high-end cases that are made for open air and testing and various different things.
Wow, nice.
And this is a Windows XP computer, actually.
Cool.
So I'm going to make sure I know which output it's going to. I labeled all my connections here. This is my KVM. It splits the video signal into 4 things between the computer under the desk, this thing, and then 2 other computers that could be here. So I've labeled it as 1, so we're going to press 1. And then from there, I'm going to grab my bench keyboard, which is just a wireless USB keyboard with the trackpad like a laptop. And we're going to turn this baby on. And I was testing a DVD drive here, as you could tell. This one actually works, so a vintage drive that works. This is how we test each and every component to make sure that the computer you get is of utmost quality.
Great.
As you see there, it's booting right now and detecting its drives. And this thing is being detected as we speak, as you can see by that. So let's give it a minute and see what it does. This thing could very likely be dead too. I mean, that could have been the beginning of this.
Oh, so maybe...
It did, but I think it did detect it. Let's see.
Maybe it's not the motherboard. Who knows?
No, because we unplugged it and the motherboard was still bad, but it may not be the cause. It may have been the power supply or something, or, you know, actually
Could be
not
multiple
that.
problems.
It could be multiple problems, right. In this case, it wasn't the power supply, but... See, so that's Windows XP we're loading there.
Alright, so we're getting the full diagnosis.
From a solid-state drive, so look at the speed on this.
Yeah, I like the speed on there.
Nice Pentium 4, actually industrial-grade motherboard because it has these extra ports here. You got, like, really old ISA, which is, like, for, like, really old stuff, like 90's and 80's.
Oh,
Then you have PCI, which is, like, early 2000s. Then AGP, which was, like, old graphics cards before what you have nowadays, like the PCI Express and things like that. Alright, so we're on here now. Let's see if it detects this drive. So it detects the thing I'm testing from earlier, but it doesn't seem to detect this drive. Oh, that's interesting. So, what happens if I shut this down? Pardon me. We'll leave the bloopers in there too, don't worry, we'll leave the sneeze in. Just for you guys. This drive's now not even turning on, so that's interesting. We could try flipping this around and reconnecting it, but right now it's not even turning on, so that's interesting. We could test every individual component as well, so we have some other components there that we could test. So we always need floppy drives and other parts, of course.
Right.
Oh, now it's making noise. You notice that?
I did notice that, yeah.
And now it turned off, but it's making more noise than it did last time. Pardon me. So let's see if it detects it. You'll see on the screen there in a second if this computer detects it. This computer detects everything, just to be clear. So it's a very good computer.
Right.
Did it detect it, Matt?
I think...
It goes fast, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say yes.
It may just be unformatted, too. I might have to format it, so... Not everything in this repairs business is always cut and dry, like it works or it doesn't work. There's like in betweens where
Yeah.
the hardware's starting to fail, or
Yeah,
you
I've actually had those experiences through my years where you get to that point where we don't quite know yet, but
know that this computer is most likely junk. But
yeah,
the case standard. So I mean, a lot of eMachines use this similar case, so this is going to be capped regardless.
right.
At least we're going to steal the parts out of it at the very least to help other computers stay alive. So yeah, nothing here yet. We could try Windows R. It was DISM, I think it's called. Or was it disk management.msc? That's what it is. So it's an old school command, the run command in XP, Windows XP, that allows us to manage our hard disks. So let's see. Oh, it's not even showing it. Yeah, this drive might be bad. I got my 15 gig drive there for the solid state drive for this. We could try one more thing though. We could try Crystal Disk Info, which is a free program I recommend to anybody that has a computer to make sure that your hard drive or your solid state drive is healthy.
Right.
So yeah, it just detects my Virtuum solid state drive. So yeah, I'm likely to say that hard drive's probably not good either. Maybe the thing that was turning off on our computer, we can try one more time. Right here now it's not plugged in, but I don't think so. I think this thing is toast.
Right.
We can always try with another CPU, but since it's such an old computer, I don't have 1,000 90's processors laying around, you know?
Right, right.
I'll try turning it on one more time, just for kicks. And who knows, this guy was being really rough. He could have knocked a component off the board while working on it. That's that weird, I don't know if you hear like that weird high-pitched noise. I don't know if the camera picks it up or not, but it's definitely something going wrong in here. So we could try a few other parts here. This floppy drive is really cool because it doesn't have the faceplate on it. It's unique to these cases, so that's definitely cool. So we're definitely going to try that next. One other thing you could try with this drive is removing the jumper pins that sets if it's a master or slave drive. I know that sounds very derogatory, but that's actually what these are called.
Right.
If you look right here. Jumper settings, really old school. CS is cable select, so that's what we want. So that would be... Yeah, it's set on master right now. So if we set it to cable select, that's what might work with Windows XP. So that could be another reason why the drive's not showing up. So don't always just throw something away. Sometimes it's best to come back to something later. So now that we set it to the third position, let's see if this Tri-Gem from 1999 turns on. And if you're wondering, yes, we can also do data recovery through these means, assuming the drive is not dead. So it's reacting a little bit differently. Let's see. Turned off again. You hear like a lot of clicking?
Yeah.
They make noise, these drives, but not like that.
So in other words, there's certain things that you kind of look at during these processes.
It's almost like it speaks to you, yeah.
Right, to kind of know, like,
Well, that's
okay,
where that went.
that sounds good, that doesn't sound good. You know?
I also have boot disks for Windows 98 right here.
Wow.
So I keep a little extra stuff right there. This thing's not even spinning up, yeah. So I'm assuming that's dead, but in the meanwhile, in the sake of time, we know our power supply is good, so that's a good part.
Alright.
We're going to put the CPU back in our little case there a little bit later. And let's take the floppy drive out and see if that works. Do you think that's going to work, Matt?
I don't know.
We're going to take it apart before we use it just to make sure that it's clean.
Right.
Because there's no sense putting a floppy drive in there and then getting it dirty and then you got to clean it up. Especially one that you care about and you're trying to reuse, like a test disc. I always have test discs and different test things around here for that particular purpose.
Right.
And we're going to slide this DVD drive out of our way too. Despite it missing its fascia, I might have parts for that. Because I keep a lot of these little itty-bitty parts just to see if I might need it in the future. So we're going to get this out of our way. This may still work despite its looks, but the longer it's out like this, the more dust, you see?
Yeah.
It may look clean from the outside even, but the inside's what matters. It's a mechanical drive, so it needs to have that internal components to be clean. So let's take a look in here. Not the worst I've seen, actually. Just a few cobwebs. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You see right here, there's our floppy drive. We're going to push it through right this way. And we're going to take our RAM stick out. So, I'll go nice and slow so you guys can see. Unplug this. And we're going to check it out right here. So this is a Tri-Gem drive, also probably original to the machine, as you can tell by the layer of dust on it. Is your asthma treating you well yet? Mine isn't. Okay, so let's see. We're just gonna put this over here now that we have everything we need out of it. Put the faceplate back on.
Got to keep that logo on there, right?
Yeah, and you can actually see this door's broken. If you actually look right here, this door's been broken. So most likely I'll probably just take that off so we don't have a broken piece. So we're just gonna put this here, and I'm assuming that drive is still probably dead. Usually it works with this computer. I mean, this computer is very, as you can see, it's very fast and reliable, as most of the computers I build.
Right.
There's always like the 1% that acts up, and then you have to say, well, I'm not going to sell that because that's not what we do at ImmortaTech Solutions.
Right.
So we're going to unplug this. I'll steal the jumper out of it in case another drive in the future needs a jumper. And then this will be sent to e-waste recycling. That was loud. Okay. For once, I actually didn't mean for that to be loud, believe it or not, guys. I know you guys think I'm like making a lot of like show here, but I actually wasn't trying to make that one loud.
Right.
Earlier in the episode, yeah, that was funny.
Shock value, Mike?
Shock value. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, no. Yeah, I mean, you guys probably won't know what you're looking at, but that's a very clean drive. There's like not even a speck of dust in there. So this has a good chance. I mean, there's some in the front here, so I'm going to use that toothbrush from earlier. Just stay right there.
All right.
Toothbrush from earlier, and just kind of come in here and just, you know, very lightly get anything that could go in there. Just give this a nice shot at working, because this would be great to have for parts.
Because you want those vintage parts to kind of go with it. It kind of gives it the feel of...
Otherwise, we have to, if we don't have parts, we usually 3D print blockout plates. We found a...
oh, right, the printer, right. We got our...
We found a beige filament that we used to 3D print blockout plates. At least you don't have a hole in the front of the case, you know.
Right, that's really cool.
I'd show you, but it's all buried up there. But the color's enough matching where you wouldn't really be able to tell, and it restores the functionality of the computer by preventing... It gives like good airflow for
right,
cooling
right,
and things like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to think about how I wanted to say that, but yeah. So it's not like preventing. It's preventing loss of suction, which allow like kind of like a vacuum, which allows components to be cooled properly.
Right.
Let me unscrew this. I gotta make sure that this goes on right. Normally, if this doesn't work, then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna steal the button off it, so that we have extra parts. If there's like a floppy drive we get in that works great, but it's missing this button, you know.
Right.
You see this likes to fall off because it doesn't have the case to support it anymore. So you gotta make sure you don't lose any part at all if you're ever looking to do this yourself one day. And if you are, I recommend just get some old computers to learn on.
Cool, man.
Does your grandmother have an old Dell from like 30 years ago that nobody cares and got all the files off of? Best Buy got all the files off of? Or hell, I got all the files off of.
Right.
Learn somewhere. Start.
Yeah, how'd you learn?
Like that. Pretty much. And through my robotics program at school. First Robotics is a great program. So First, F-I-R-S-T, they're great for young individuals that want to do engineering and different technical avenues.
Right.
Okay, so now we got this plugged in. If you want to come see. I'm just going to shove it in here so it doesn't move. Good. Okay. Let's see if it does something. This is my test DVD drive that lives here, just for reference. It's not really doing much, is it? It might light up usually. Despite it being so clean, it could still be dead, actually. Believe it or not. So we're going to double check our connections here. Looks fine. Oh, it got unplugged from power. What the heck happened? I must have pushed it in too hard. Oopsie. Oh? Oh no, that's a DVD drive. Yeah, it's still not reacting. Huh. Interesting. Oh? Okay.
It's on.
The cable must have got stuck. My bad, guys. I know, I'm not perfect. Let's see this 98 boot disc that I made. And yes, it is a nice copy. It works well. So, let's see. It's going to sit there. And now we're going to go to our A drive right here. Oh? Oh, we have a working floppy drive.
There you go.
Listen to that thing go. You guys want to hear it run something? Let me see.
Want to hear an ancient sound, guys?
Yeah. A lot of people, this is all they had.
Ooh, how do you like that sound? That thing is on and that thing is running, baby.
Really good, actually. I'm impressed. Considering how bad the rest of the computer was.
Yeah.
This was unplugged. I mean, it's running the program that was on there. Like F-Disk, which is like formatting a hard drive. Oh, yeah. It runs like a champ. Hell, I'm going to mark it. And when I have a tested part that works, I'll usually use a Sharpie and just write, like, good and the date or something, just so we know for reference.
Right.
Good. 5. This is the 27th of May. 2025. Yeah, it's running, so I don't need to keep pushing it. I mean, we know it works, so.
Right.
Oh, it's very responsive. Yeah, this is going to be great to have for somebody else's computer. Heck, I might even contact the eMachines guy, see if he needs it, but probably not. I need one of these too. Though I do have a test one here. You see this one's not even yellowed yet. And I put little feet on it so the little spinny motor could actually be preserved. Here's my test floppy. Or if I have to install Windows on a computer that needs a floppy disk, and the computer doesn't have one because it failed.
Right.
Your biggest enemy, I'll always tell everybody this, is overheating due to dust. Yep.
Interesting.
That's it.
Wow.
So always keep your computer clean.
Dust
So
is a killer.
Yep, so this is going to go in our parts pile here. So we're just going to put it right here. And I have a couple other floppy drives in here. But yeah, so it's going to go there now. And let's get the DVD drive. This is a DVD. Let's see what this is. This is a Samsung CD Master 40E, model SC140. Yeah. Open her up, shall we? So obviously I don't see any corrosion or any signs of that. We're just going to see, is it dusty? And the main thing with these, to get these working, belts. What happens to rubber when it sits for a long time, Matt?
Oh man, it definitely like rips and
Degrades, right?
degrades, yeah.
Well, when a belt sits for a long time, a rubber belt, it'll stay in the same shape it always was in. Like if it's like this around a pulley, and then you start spinning it, it's gonna go wow wow wow, you know, and like all like, and then you try to open this disk drive, and it'll just like not even want to open. So this is a very delicate process. We'll basically just open this, so we have our way. And honestly, it looks very clean in here. We got our little thermal pads for the little chips here. This we have to be very delicate with. So I'm gonna gently use my screwdriver to pry off the faceplate. Don't want to break that. So nice and gently wiggle, wiggle. And then we're gonna bring this down. And you see these little clips right here. I've done this a lot of times, so I know. But obviously, if you're doing it for your first time, just nice and slow. And do not run these while they're open, because the laser, it's not good for your eyes.
Right. Oh.
I've done it once, and luckily it didn't get me, but I know now not to do it again. It's a very fine laser. No, that's from a movie. But yeah, Austin Powers, look it up. It's really funny. But yeah, alright. So as you see here, this is from August of 1999, so this is also original to the machine. You can also tell by the weird, like, normal ones are like, you know, flat, like a regular DVD drive. This is like a weird one familiar to this machine. So far, looks really clean. I mean, some dust right here, just, you know. It's not going to kill it if I use a little toothbrush just to clean it, you know. So we're going to first see if the belt is okay or not, or if it even uses a belt. So we're going to look on our faceplate here, and if you see a little tiny pinhole right there, by the eject button. Oh, don't break it. that thing's already broken.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Right.
So now we're going to look to see where that lines up with, and it pushes in a little hole right there. So we're going to use our paper clip from earlier. Let's see if I can find it. And once you start taking something apart, you have 1,000 pieces now, and you got to try to sort through it. So we're going to look for our paper clip. Oh, I guess we don't have paper clip, so... Huh. Yeah, it's not great. Where'd it go?
Alright, so let's,
Alright, so I'll just use this. Lazy tweezers, and we're just going to try to eject the drive.
Alrighty.
Yep, so I pushed it in a little bit. And now this should come out shortly. Well, the keyword should. But anyway, we're just going to look in it now and determine is there a belt or anything in here. From what I can tell, it looks like it's just strictly gear driven, which is good because now there's no belt to dry out. So, I think we're going to try to run this thing, but to make sure we don't look at it, I'm going to put this topper back on. And it'll even tell you, sometimes that, sorry, my allergies, yeah, class 1 laser product, so be alert. It is a laser product, so.
Honestly, I really never knew that, Mike.
Well, optical, keyword, optical disc,
Right.
because of the optical laser.
Right.
So now just clip that back in so we don't have to look at it. Hey, you guys ready to see what this does? I'm going to remove this one that we were testing because this one works good. And normally what you're able to do is this. So you take any old paper clip, or I'm going to use these tweezers in this case, and then you just go and you push right in that little hole and it opens. Obviously these aren't long enough, so. But yeah, so this works great. I'm going to mark this as good as well. And it's just rinse and repeat. So we just say good. Easier than printing out a label and doing anything else differently. Just, you know.
Right.
Write it on it. It's good. And put it in the pile. And then I'll go to help another computer in the future. And I'm just going to put this down here so it doesn't short out on anything, obviously, you know. Protect it. Okay, so let's see what this does now. I got my little slot right here. And go like this. And we're going to test it. So let's see. It lights up. So if you look at our little button here, the old motor's struggling. It doesn't want to open. Oh! And I can look in there. There is no belt. It's just strictly gears and motor. Sometimes these ones with the belts are very slow and they just stop working. It got a little stuck, but let's actuate it a little bit. Now it's getting better. See? Let it wake up a little bit. And while we boot Windows XP, we can see if this will work or not. So I'm going to grab a test disk at random. Let's grab our disk case here. And let's see. I got a lot of different software and stuff. Test music. No, that'll get us copyright striked. Okay, let's see. Ooh, a Netgear test disk. This is like for like a driver, like an old Wi-Fi thing. But
Right.
it works in Windows XP, so assuming this. Oh, and it even closed on its own. Did you see that?
You want to show us that again, or?
Oh yeah, sure. I put the disc in. And it's a little slow, but slowness doesn't matter. It matters if it works. Whoa!
Oh, that's cool.
It took it. It noticed that I put the thing in, and it.
Like ate it.
Yeah, it was hungry. Hasn't eaten in a while. Sounds good. Was that a beep?
I definitely heard a beep.
That wasn't this. Well, let's see what it does. Keep your eye on the screen. Let's see what happens. It'll usually auto start that program, but we could try to manually start it. So, we'll go to my computer. Oh, it's not even detecting it. Really?
So I guess the sound doesn't always
No,
indicate.
it's got to work too.
Right.
No, it's just detecting the top drive here. It's trying to read it. What we can also do is we can restart the computer and then try to see if it detects it in the BIOS here, which is the basic in and out system. So we're going to see detecting IDE drives. Oh, it goes too fast. It looks like it's flashing, so it might have detected it. Interesting. Well, regardless, we got a good floppy drive. Let's look at the benefits here. Good power supply.
Right.
Good case for future eMachines.
All right. Well, I guess that pretty much sums it up, right?
Yeah, let's just see if this DVD drive works, and then I'll let you guys go for the night.
All right.
That'll be your weekly episode of ImmortaTech Solutions.
Well, hey, I got to tell you, you really taught me a lot of stuff about.
What'd you learn today?
And I learned, let's see, floppy drives have a laser in it that you can't look at.
Not floppy drives.
Or I'm sorry, optical
CD drives.
CD drives. Sorry, I honestly never knew that.
Yep.
Motherboard failures can definitely lead to
Other components.
components failing.
It didn't happen in this case, but
I mean,
they
not
took the parts, but
yeah. I mean, not necessarily that I didn't know that. It's just kind of like a refresher.
you don't think about it.
Yeah,
right?
you don't think about like how all this stuff fails and
Yeah, so this isn't reading, unfortunately. We could try to plug it into one more. It's a shame because it does open actually, which is nice. And it's not easy to come across drive, but you can put a regular drive in an eMachine. It's not going to care. It's just the aesthetics of it, you know?
Right, right.
So, because this machine has like a certain... All these old machines have a certain style to them, the 90's especially.
Right.
So we're going to open this again and see if it comes up. If it didn't come up the first time, I'm not really hopeful, but we could try just for the YouTube's sake. You see I'm refreshing the page?
Yeah.
It's trying, but computer doesn't even detect it, so this is unfortunately trashed as well.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you guys for checking in with us at ImmortaTech Solutions here, and we hope you have a great week, and we'll catch you next time.
Alright, thanks for the lesson. See you.
See ya.